All right, what's going on, people? So, what I did today was I shot a lot of stuff. So, shot two podcasts with my man Jay Robinson, the Pod Dealers, and then after that, we said, you know what, this conversation that we're having about Black culture, Black collaboration, and just collaboration and why Black people aren't doing outside of the box stuff, kind of popped up. It kind of sprung up on us. So, I said, let me turn on this camera and let's have it on camera. And that's what we did. So today is just really a conversation that I'm having with my man Jay Robinson of Pod Dealers. And it was a great conversation that I had to film. So make sure you check it out right now. And we've been talking about a lot. So we've recorded two podcasts.
For sure.
And then after that, we kind of sparked up a conversation about a lot of different things. But one of the main things is Black people collaborating. I personally feel like, especially in our area of Hampton Road 757, Virginia, but also just in life itself, Black people never come together and say like, yo, I know we do the same thing, but why don't we just come together? Not necessarily to work together or, build a company together, but like, yo, you do this thing, I do this thing. Let's see how we can do work on this project together, or how can we collab on resources. So just want to have a quick conversation about that and just kind of talk about what we think about that.
So I think for me, I can never tell if people don't want to do it because there's no money in it, right? Like nobody ever looks at like it's not bigger picture. Like what can you do for me right now?
Right.
Sometimes brainstorming doesn't necessarily turn into dollars.
True.
I think by coming together, I think there should be more conferences. I think the conferences that we have now are people just kind of like showing themselves. But I wish more Black folks did do things where they like weren't afraid to spend money with each other, or it didn't have to be some like, for lack of a better term, like ballerific type thing where it has to be like glitz and glamour. Like it's just a high quality product that they should be able to spend money with each other. And people of like skills should come together.
Do you feel like it's more so like a crabs in a barrel thing? Because sometimes I feel like, a lot of Black people don't want to see other Black people rise above them. So why am I going to work with you to kind of make you maybe leapfrog over me?
No, I don't think it's a crabs in a barrel thing. I used to think about that in some of the other cities I lived in. I think for a lot of times, nobody shares their game plan to success. I think a lot of times what happens is, it is I got mine, you figure out how to get yours, which isn't a bad mentality. But it's more or less, it's hurtful because people need mentors, people need guidance in that way.
I feel it's a disabling mentality because I'm just the type of guy, like, I'm going to get mine regardless.
Right.
So I feel like we talked about it before. Like, I'm the type of person, like this was basketball. Mm-hmm. If I'm going left, I'm going to tell you I'm going left, and there's nothing you can do to stop that.
Right.
But I feel like just in life, so that's why with me, like a lot of stuff on my social media is where I'm giving away like game on like, yo, you should be doing X, Y, and Z to kind of build up your shit. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't hurt me. Like I'm gonna still get my money. Like,
yeah, I think that's what people don't think of. Like they don't think of the mindset of that because you're shining, it dulls the light on me, right? Like you could be in the spotlight too, and we can still get money together in the same lane. I think a lot of times what we are told, like I think when we met the last time, it's like we are told that space and digital for Black folks is limited real estate, which we know that's not true. Right. There are plenty of people out here. We're watching a lot of these like white-owned companies and big companies get money doing the same exact thing. They're in competition with each other because of the way they do business.
But sometimes even when they know they're in competition together, they still do business together though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The thing is, I think like when we talk about situations too, like I would love to see more media companies reach out to folks like y'all and do like merger deals where they're like, look, man, we have an in-house super creative videographer that works independently. Let's just buy him out. Well, how much money will he make in a year? And we buy him out for a contract, put him on some type of contract or something like that, or contract out to you. I watch a lot of these white-owned companies kind of do that too, where they really don't have a staff per se. What they do is they contract everything out. So they'll be like, look, we are 3 PR agents, but we contract videographers to shoot commercials. We contract graphic designers to do all this other stuff. We get our shit off of Fiverr, and then we upcharge our clients. Black folks, we all trying to do, everybody trying to do 60 different things, and you're not doing any of those things really well. You may do like 3 of those things really well.
I think a lot of that comes with a lot of black people don't respect like creativeness or the arts.
But do you think that comes from black folks as a whole, or is that a passed down thing generationally? So like prime example, right? So like I was always told like you get a job at the post office, you work for the city, right?
Yeah.
So once I became the creative one in my family, I really had to like, it was almost like meeting with the IRS. Like I had to turn over to show people like I make money from podcasting. I make money from doing media. I make money from doing that thing. And they will be like, oh shit, I finally get it. But like, I never had a job with the city, not knocking that thing, but I just was like, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but I feel like especially when I was like heavy into like doing photos and videos, that people was like, how much you charge? And they could be the people that hit me up. Like I'm not even like reaching out to them for work. I could literally or they could reach out to me and say, yo, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. How much do you charge? And then they just be like, I could say 500 for a commercial. They're like, well, you know, my cousin shoots videos. So to me, that means like you don't really respect the work that I do. You feel like it's easy.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to what you're just talking about, as far as companies actually paying outside creators to come in and do work, I feel like in general, and once again, I feel like in the words of Young Leezy, black people are not a monolith. But a lot of black people don't really respect the creative arts or any type of creative industry. So they feel like they could just do it themselves.
Yeah, but I also think we've always been told that like being creative comes in one or two forms for us, right?
Yeah.
Like it's either you really good at it and you make millions of dollars from it, or it's your hobby. Or like nobody ever takes it seriously. Like if I told somebody like, yo, I make money from podcasting, the initial thing is like, oh, well, I can get a microphone. I can go to Guitar Center and get a microphone and a mixer or whatever it is, or do it off my phone and I can make the same amount as you make. Or I could, all I gotta do is save my money up and I can catch a Canon on sale and now I'm a photographer. It's a lot of like people thinking the thing that you do is easy, but I also think we also don't do enough to show how complex the thing that we do is. Yeah, you essentially just show up with like these really good looking photos or this well produced show. Or
but you don't really dive into the hours it took.
You're not breaking up like I fucking lost sleep over this thing, or it cost a whole bunch of money, or I lost. I think we also with social media in general too. It also shows us how often people win because that's what they choose to show us. Like I think what you do as far as being like, let me show you what you're doing wrong with social media. Let me show you how to do stuff is important. Like nobody ever shows you the behind the scenes. I think it's the same thing like parenting. People with fucking kids. Y'all, it's everything is love, right? Like these kids is always blowing bubbles and it's all sweet and shit. Nobody ever shows you the blown up diaper. Nobody ever shows you the temper tantrum in the Walmart. Like nobody ever shows you that shit. It's everything is like they reciting the ABCs and like everything is rainbow and kittens. It don't work like that. That's not how it is. So like we need to show. We would come together if we showed how hard it is, but no, everybody wants to show you their successes, and that's just not what it's about.
I'm trying to find a way to I want this whole platform to be a way for, I keep saying the word urban entrepreneurs or creators, but I really want like black and brown people to come together and like, you know what, let's get together and build some dope shit. So that's why I want to do more collab videos like this one where we just kind of sit around and just shoot the shit about a lot of stuff that plays us. But the issue that I've ran into that is because I look at creatives, white creators, like from what I've seen, they're dope people like, Peter McKinnon or Sarah Dietschy or Maddie that's always with Peter McKinnon or whatever. Or people down in Atlanta like Creative Ryan. They was like, you know what, let's all link together and let's actually build up this team. Or if you need work, I got you. Or, whatever the case may be. But I know there's been many times when people will like hit me up like, yo, you do so much great shit. You do X, Y, and Z. Especially when last year when I was like heavy into video. Where I was putting out like a video every week. People were saying that, but I was like, all right, bet. Let's link up and let's put together a YouTube video where we just kind of talk about shit like this or whatever. And it was always like, okay, we're going to do that. And then I hit them with all right, so when you're free, let's link up Friday. Like, oh, man, sign up or whatever. So and then they'll just fall off the face of the earth. And I was like, yo, why is it that we have to be this way when if we actually came together, and I don't want to be like, lift every voice and sing type nigga, but if we actually came together and like, yo, whatever you need, I got you. And when money's in play, if you look out for me, I got you. Like, let's kind of make this shit work.
All right, so that's fair, right? That's a fair assessment. But what happens when you feel like it doesn't swing? Like, are we doing favor for a favor? So, like, if I say, yo, I'm doing a new podcast, but I need you to shoot the first 3 episodes just so we get it out on the internet, whatever you need from me, like, because sometimes people don't feel like their
favors add up.
Yeah, they favors that. Like, if you feel like you spent more hours editing the video than I did putting the audio together, right? Like, we come in here, we do the podcast. You like, yo, I'm gonna shoot these first 3 episodes because you asked me to do it. I'm your homie. Then you like, all right, I need a favor from you. I don't know if me recording the audio equals up, right? Or the same anything. Like, if you got homies that cook food, you're like, look, man, hey man, I'm having to get together. I need you to cater the shit for 50 people. Then you're like, all right, well, I don't know if this equals up to you walking around with the camera all night. Yeah. So I think that's another. I mean, I think that's the thing, right? But once money comes in, that's another thing. When money comes into play, then now everybody's trying to play percentages. Like, well, I feel like my job is harder than your job, and that's why I deserve more of this thing. I mean, it's really about communication.
I get it, because I've been there many times when people say like the favors don't add up. So I get that. But there's also been times when I put in more work than the other person, and they're not even doing the basics. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tricky. I think the key is to communication. I think, so us at Pod Dealers, like, we're doing a lot of bartering, and we're doing a lot of asking for access. But while we're doing that, we're also seeing how can we help other businesses. Or maybe even be the conduit to other people. Like, maybe like, yo, I might not have anything on deck, but I might know somebody that could probably help you do the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I do think there are so many people that are in the same lanes that they automatically view the other person as competition. And so when you either meet them face to face and you're kind of like, yo, I'm super excited to meet you because I like your work, it always throws them off because they've just been viewing you as competition this whole time through.
But when you actually cool and
you're like, we can all eat out here. I don't know why y'all doing that. Like, I don't really look at anybody who's in podcasting or doing that other stuff as like, or anybody in media in general as competition. I'm always looking to get better and looking to get bigger. So how do I make my platform bigger by collaboration versus competition? Like, you might see me say this a lot, like, I'd much rather collaborate than compete.
Right.
And that's because it means more to me. I'd rather put this area on than necessarily put myself on all the time. Like, I'm, like you said, I'm gonna be all right. Like, I'm gonna be okay. So I want to do my part for the city or whatever.
We've actually been here talking for like the past 3 hours, so I really just wanted us to kind of hop into this, like a quick little YouTube video, just kind of talking about all this stuff, because it felt like a lot of stuff that we was talking about before should have been brought into a video. So, and I want to get big into like just collaborating with different, creators and entrepreneurs and just professionals and people who just doing like a lot of dope shit. So where can people find you, Evan?
You can find me at Pod Dealers on Instagram, Pod Dealers on Twitter. And you can listen to the podcast. Just click the link in those bios.
All right, so I hope you liked this episode. Like I said, it was really just an open conversation, open dialogue with my man Jay. We talked about a lot of stuff that I feel like Black artists, Black creators, Black entrepreneurs sometimes go through, or something that's kind of embedded in us from jump. So I want to actually talk about that. So before we get off of this video, one thing I want to do is just start shouting out maybe a couple people that maybe you guys should look out for on either YouTube or Instagram that is doing dope stuff. So the first person I kind of want to shout out is my man Alexander Chambers. He's on Instagram as thealexander.chambers. He's putting out a lot of dope content, a lot of dope visuals on Instagram right now. I'm trying to get him to come over to YouTube as well. But on Instagram, he's kind of killing it. He's out in Arizona, so make sure you follow him. I've never met him in person, but from our interactions online, on DMs, he's a dope dude. So make sure you holler at him. And that's pretty much all I got. So once again, this is Shy Harris of the Rebel Society, and I'm out.